is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
In Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson, and Josh Fenwick sitting in for the final time this week. We will be back Monday, and we're excited you're joining us. You can always get involved in the conversation, 1-833-401-1440. You can also get involved on the YouTube chat. They were saying nice things about me over there, so we're probably going to read the comments. Fantasy Frenzy, of course, powered by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, willhawkbeefjerky.com. A couple different things I want to talk about today. We didn't get as involved in the goalie rotation yesterday as I would have wanted to, unless I'm completely misremembering, guys. We didn't talk about the goalie rotation that much, did we? We talked about it a good bit?
We did. A decent amount, yeah.
Okay.
Not
That's one point of prep done. So
actually, it was the full first segment. You're right, Josh.
Well, the first segment was a little bit more Darnell Nurse based, I believe.
It was kind of a miss.
As the guy that checked the clips for it yesterday, can confirm the entire second half. Once you turned it over to Donovan and I, was basically strictly goaltenders.
Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to talk about it again. We're also going to talk about Ovi coming back. I want to know what you guys think his ceiling can be as a player for this upcoming
Hits 1,000 goals next season.
Yeah, I mean, really what he's chasing is 11 more goals, and he will have the playoff and regular season record, so that'll be something he's chasing. I want to talk about who's going to wear the A for the Oilers with Darnell Nurse out the building. And then selfishly, I want to talk a little LeBron James as well. I've been smoking on the LeGoat pack. I want to talk about where LeBron James can potentially land in free agency, and if it is, in fact, going to be Toronto. Like I said, you can get involved in the conversation, 1-833-401-1440, and also reach us on the YouTube chat. Before we get to all of that, how are we feeling this morning? Weekend's coming up. Kind of, it's like Canada Day weekend, but it's not a long weekend. Like, what's the vibe like for you guys?
I'm just vibrating to get out of here. I'm so excited for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the weekend here too. I mean, it's going to be a good one. Going to get out on the course on Sunday and stomp a buddy's ball into the ground.
Okay.
After a certain text during the last hour of the morning show here. And
why does he have a West Virginia number?
Because he went to school in West Virginia. He was on
Mountaineers.
He was on a golf scholarship, a partial golf scholarship down in the States, and yeah, I mean, he's pretty good at golf, but that doesn't stop me from stomping his ball into the ground and, trying to sabotage him.
Going to school on a golf scholarship, subtly one of the bigger flexes there
when you're from Canada and you can only golf.
Because here's the thing, like if you go on a football scholarship or if you go on like a basketball scholarship, it's a little like, okay, that's kind of cool, whatever. But if you go on a golf scholarship, like golf, you can translate like that. Football has a lifespan. You stop playing that at 22. Basically, golf is something you can do for the rest of your life, essentially. So going there on a golf scholarship, getting that experience and being that good, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, he's pretty good at golf. Unfortunately for me, he beats me every time.
Wait, so this is actually your friend?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. This is one of my good friends, Kyle, and yeah, he beats me every time. He's the guy. He's one of the guys I golf the most with, and so unfortunately for me, he's always kind of showing me up here and. Maybe we'll have to try and cheat and find a way to even the odds.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. In your friend group, where do you kind of fall in terms of
I'm the second pack? I'm the second best by a mile.
Really? And now, is that a little like everyone's cheeks kind of situation, or are you actually a little nice with it?
Everyone's cheeks.
I'm pretty good. Like I don't know. The average golfer is about around 100, right? So I'm a well above average golfer, but I'm not, I'm nowhere near a stick here. I'm good, but I'm not sensational. As for the rest of my boys, one of them's been golfing for a long time and struggles to break 100. Sorry to throw Mason under the bus.
Well, you didn't have to dox him like that.
I'm gonna dox him like that. And the other boys, they're kind of just starting out here, so yeah, they're ugly with it.
Where do you fall into your friend group in terms of golfers?
I would be the second best golfer in my friend group
Really?
because my one buddy is better than me. And then basically everyone else doesn't know how to golf. So I'm collectively the second best and the worst. At the same time.
By default.
By default, I am the worst.
All right. Yeah, I gotta step my game up. I'm like definitely one of the worst golfers among my friends, but that's fine. All right. I want to talk the goalie rotation in terms of games. This is kind of how I think it'll break down. I know I asked Jason this on 5 questions yesterday. I kind of forget what his answer was, but I think it'll be something like I don't know where you guys come out, but I think Freddie will have the job until he doesn't due to injury. And when I think of the breakdown, I think it'll be like 35 games for Freddie, 35 games for Jari, who I was thinking about this a lot following Donovan's comments yesterday. I actually do think he'll play well in a good majority of them. I think injury will catch up. I think there'll obviously be some nights he's not in the goalie's net. I think he'll play 35 as well. And then I think Devin Levi gets 14, which seems a little bit high. And these are obviously all kind of rounded numbers, but I think like a 35-35-14 split is kind of where I come out at.
35-30, really?
What are you thinking?
Yesterday I said, give me about give me like 30-24, somewhere around, like give or take. Like I'd say 30 plus on 2 of them and 20-ish on 1 of them. Like that's kind of where I've been thinking. Like, so anywhere in that range.
So what do you think, how do you think it'll all kind of break down? Like, do you think it'll be Freddie's net to start the season and then he'll lose it due to injury? Or you think it'll be Jari's?
Well, Freddie's going to lose it due to injury. Let's be real here. Like, Freddie's going to go down with injury.
I know, it is pretty crazy. We've locked that in already, but it's just everyone's kind of accepted that is, in fact, what's going to happen.
Like, the reality is, when was the last year Freddie Anderson was not on the shelf due to injury?
His last 7 years. I think the second most amount of games he's played was last year, and it was 35.
Yes. So it's
and he was not good in those 35.
No, he wasn't good. But once he got to the playoffs, he was excellent.
Yeah.
So that's what matters here. That's why the Oilers signed Freddie Anderson. They're going to have to baby him through the season. He's the guy I expect to play the fewest games, if I'm being honest. In my opinion, he's going to play the fewest just due to injury. If he doesn't have a significant injury, then obviously it's going to be Devin Levi who plays the fewest. But I'm fully expecting Freddie to play somewhere in the low 20s. That's just how little faith I have on him to stay healthy.
Low 20s. That's pretty low. I mean, listen, you're recent history would suggest you're right.
Like,
but
that's the odds. What are the odds he actually plays above 30 games?
He might also just play cheeks for a bit.
He might, but
yeah, he was -6 goals saved above expected last year. That's not a ringing endorsement. And when he played well in the playoffs, granted that, before he got pulled, that dragged it down significantly, but he was only 3 above. Now, that's not terrible for a small sample size of the playoffs. That's, something we would want to hear in Edmonton. And Carolina is a great defensive team.
They're a good defensive team, but they're not an easy defensive team to play behind because of how many rush chances they gave up. Right? If you remember the stats from last year, they give up the most breakaways in the NHL.
Guess what the Oilers love to do? Give away breaks.
They do, but
they
that's
love giving up those odd man rushes.
Reminder: this is a different coaching staff, and you're going to have a different structure. So
they'll have a different structure, but they'll still be prone to the mistakes they've been making the entirety of the McDavid era at times.
Well, you're always going to be prone to mistakes. I just expect them to be different mistakes because I don't expect them to be as aggressive in certain spots. Right? I'd expect more of a safe game, and I'd expect less odd man rushes due to that. I would expect less odd man rushes due to the forwards playing smarter and safer. Will they score less? I'd expect them to score a little bit less, but I don't think it'll be dramatic. That's just what I expect out of a Mike Babcock coach team.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's gonna be, I feel so much defensive resilience and just better defensive structure that Freddie's really gonna find a way to thrive under that. And I like, listen, I don't know what the injury history is gonna look like. You assume he's gonna get hurt at some point, but that first game where it's like, hey, like this is what I could see happening. I could see Freddie going on a nice little streak. He's put together some good wins. He's playing well. The save percentage has everyone happy in the city. Although Jason made a point, and I honestly agree with it. Like the more you like, save percentage is a weird one. You can't really hang your hat on that. Like I love, obviously, you guys know me. I'm not the biggest analytics guy in the world. That boy nice watcher, but goals saved above expected is, I think, one you can really hang your hat on for goalies. And then GAA, I think, is far more important than save percentage. That said, I do think Freddie will have a couple games where his save percentage has everyone in the city happy. The GAA, the Oilers, just like, I think it'll be a more buttoned down defensive team, but they always, it's like they can't get out of their own way in playing high scoring games. Like it just feels like that is who they are through and through now. Hopefully that changes, obviously, but I'm saying there'll be a couple games or a nice little stretch where the GAA might be a little higher than we wanted, but Freddie's playing well. Save percentage looks decent. And then Tristan Jarry has to come in and we're all kind of sit there scratching our heads like, okay, what's this going to look like? Like that's kind of how I foresee Tristan Jarry's first real entrance into being like, okay, he is the 1A now.
It's going to be, well, what's going to happen, right, is you're going to see Freddie Anderson go down, and Freddie Anderson in Carolina, they've run 3 goalies for the last number of years, right? Because Freddie always gets hurt. So I know people are, just send Tristan Jarry down. It's not going to happen because Freddie Anderson's going to go down with injury, and you're going to rotate in 3 guys, and you've got an inexperienced guy in Devin Levi who I wouldn't play. If you play Devin Levi 14 games, you're failing the player. I'm sorry. You're failing the player. If you want this guy to be anything for you, if you think there's still this talent there, which they clearly do, otherwise they wouldn't have acquired him. So to me, you're not playing him 14 games. I'm sorry. It's going to be higher than that.
So you think the split looks like 30-30-20?
Yeah, ish, around there.
But don't you think Devin, like obviously, his contract plays into it as well, but don't you think he was acquired a little bit more for the future when Freddie inevitably has to retire due to injury or something like that?
If you're not going to play him, you're just stalling out his development even more than it already has.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to play him.
That brings up another question. Like, so what do we foresee his development turning into? Like, who do we see him turning into as a goaltender? Do we see him as a guy who can play 55 games?
The talent profile is there. Will he be that guy? I have no idea. The reality is he hasn't shown anything in his NHL career to this point. He's shown great at every other level, but he hasn't shown that
AHL goalie. Yep.
He basically, what you have right now, and this might sound crazy coming out of my mouth relative to what he's done in the NHL so far, is you basically have the same situation as Dustin Wolf had before, right as he came to Calgary. Was he struggled in a brief sample size in Calgary, and then there was questions of, what is this guy going to be? Then you have a breakout season after the small little sample size that was before his first actual like full season in the NHL. Like Devin Levi relative to Dustin Wolf, you could argue Devin Levi had a higher pedigree than Dustin Wolf, whether
Dustin Wolf was a 7th round pick. Yes. So yeah, the pedigree's higher.
But Levi was also a really low pick. I think he was
fourth, wasn't he?
No, I thought he was the 6th. But they were both small goaltenders. You can make the comparison because they were both unbelievable performers at junior and college.
He was also a 7th round pick.
So I was 1 round off. But yeah, like they're both small, both unbelievable at their respective levels. It's just about, sometimes it takes guys a little while to figure it out. Levi, I can see him becoming a similar story to Wolf.
Let me flip the question this way. What do you think the split has to look like, the rotation has to look like, or what would it look like for the Oilers to have the most success out of this goaltending tandem? Like, is it as simple as he starts 84 games and he plays the way he did in the playoffs? That's a little unrealistic, so I don't think anyone's going to pick that. But for them to play it there, like if we said the Oilers are going to absolutely max out their ability of what they can do at the goaltending position, what does that split have to look like? Because I agree, Freddie, probably going to get hurt. Tristan Jarry, obviously you made your points about him, but probably going to have a couple stinkers out there. Devin Levi, younger, unproven,
probably going to have a couple stinkers.
Probably going to have a couple. So what does it have? What would it look like for them to max out the goaltending position?
Well, to max out the goaltending position
in terms of success,
you're gonna have to find out what Devin Levi is, right? You're gonna have to play him, and you're gonna have to give him those learning moments. He's had some of them. He's played 39 NHL games, but you're gonna expect some stinkers now and again. So you're gonna have to play him. You're gonna have to give him his moments, and you're gonna have to see what he is. So to max it out, you have to first find out what that player is to me. You got to play Freddie, no question. But you've got to be able to try and keep that guy healthy, because the playoffs are ultimately what matter most, right? And keeping him healthy for those, that's the important message here. So to me, how to max out the goaltending? Play good team defense, which is what they're probably going to do.
Where do you rank this goaltending? I'm not going to call it a tandem anymore because it's obviously a trio. Where do you rank this goaltending trio in terms of the goaltending duos we've had in the McDavid era? Like, which was the best? Which was the worst? Where does this one fall in?
The best. That's a tough one, Dak. That's a really good question.
Who backed up Talbot?
Well, that that would have been.
I would say Talbot was probably the best.
That would have been Al Montoya, right? I think that would have been Al Montoya, if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm looking.
Did he
I'm looking
also back
now.
up Mike Smith when he was here? Because if that's the way it's going, then we might legitimately sit here and say, man, Skinner and picks.
Yeah, it was Talbot and Laurent Brossoit. And then obviously Al Montoya, he did have those 9 games played there in that 17-18 season. And then it went from there to Koskinen and Talbot briefly before it went to Smith and Koskinen.
I was here early on Montoya. You could make the
Anders
argument.
Nielsen as well. McDavid's rookie season here.
You could make the argument on the Cam Talbot one, but I'm actually going to go to the I'll probably say that Cam Talbot year. That was probably that 16-17 season. The other one you can really talk about is Mike Smith. Really,
see, that's where my mind went first. One of those Mike Smith, Mikko Koskinen seasons.
Yeah, Mikko Koskinen was. If you look at the numbers relative to the years, like Mikko Koskinen really wasn't good, but
yeah, I mean, like that 1920 season he was fine, and then after that, it was a little off a cliff for Mikko Koskinen. But
Mike Smith was bad in that season.
Oh yeah. In which season?
1920.
Oh, dude, that 1920 season. Yeah, he was
no good.
Yeah, and he wasn't. Am I misremembering his 2021 season, or was that a bounce back for him?
21 was the bounce back, if I'm remembering correctly.
And
but
that was the one where Koskinen really went.
Yeah, it was. They reversed in 2020, 2021.
So I guess the question is, like, if you're saying it was that
Smith,
Talbot, year.
I'm just double checking. Smith in 2020, 2021, 923, Koskinen in 899, and then Stu had one game as well. But man, Mike Smith was so good.
I've
seventh in Vezina voting.
Man, I bet we're missing those.
38 years old.
Because here's the thing, I think a lot of people probably would say one of those Mike Smith seasons. Like
you can argue either. I'm gonna give you both.
Yeah, and then so I guess the question becomes, like, how does this trio on paper compare to what we had? Obviously, you have to see the games play out. Duh, no one's disputing that. But it does kind of, like, if I had just given you in a vacuum these 3 goaltenders, knowing what you know about these 3 versus those 2 goaltenders, in that season, knowing what you know about them, which would you pick and say, I want that?
Freddie's doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
Freddie is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And he's doing
a
lot of heavy lifting for a guy who's old, injured, and blunt, and he was not good in the regular season. He was not good in the regular season. And by the way, when he played good in the playoffs, he did end up getting pulled. So that's a lot of the guy's shoulders.
Let's remember, his agent died.
Like the pulled thing, like, let's pump the brakes here. Like that's a if you want to talk about pulled in the playoffs, like the Stuart Skinner stuff, I will sit there and I will give you the 100% like that. Yes. But like the Freddie pulled in the playoffs thing. Yeah. His agent died. He was really good friends.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to pump the brakes there. Like this is one where Freddie, and he also got hurt. So when you're talking about Freddie's season last year, you can look at the save percentage, but also just remember Carolina gave up no shots. And they were they gave up a lot of those high quality breakaway opportunities and rush chances, but they were not giving up any shots. So like the save percentage is going to look lower than it actually probably would have on most other teams. So yes, he wasn't great last year in the regular season, but you're also coming to a Mike Babcock system where you're going to have a different look and you're probably not going to give up 18 shots a game.
All right. I guess we're going to take our first break. This has been a lot of fun. Next segment, I want to talk about who's going to wear the A with Darnell Nurse's departure. I think a lot of people have a pretty obvious answer. It flew out on the text line once here earlier. I think there's maybe another name or two you could throw around, but I'm curious on your guys' thoughts, obviously. Thank you for tuning in. Like I've said, you can get involved in the conversation, 1-833-401-1440. We're going to read your text when we come back. This is Fantasy Frenzy, powered by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new, exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing. Tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen.
I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Step onto the field of dreams and into sporting glory. Join the Riverhawks Community Foundation on August 22nd for the Field of Dreams Festival at Rematch Field. This isn't just any event. It's an adult baseball camp featuring former Toronto and Edmonton baseball star Devon White. Swing for the fences from 5 to 10:30 p.m. while supporting local youth sports. Upgrade to VIP for an exclusive meet and greet. Tickets are going fast. Secure your spot today at riverhawksfoundation.ca.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
It's not what you know, it's where you heard it. Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas, exclusively on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Fantasy Frenzy on Sports 1440. Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick sitting in. Of course, this hour brought to you by ALCS Nation. Check out the new website, ALCSNation.ca. We got our articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the most in-depth W football coverage online at ALCSNation.ca. I also love how every splitter is like, who are you going to start? Who are you going to sit? And then we just come out here and talk Oilers for an hour. Like that's we're doing the show.
Oh, buddy, I know.
We're doing the show a bit of a disservice, but we're having fun.
Also, like, what are we going to talk about in the world of fantasy right now?
I know.
Like,
I know.
We can maybe talk about dynasty drafts and like, who are you going to draft? But I think it's all kind of pretty obvious, no?
Yeah. No.
Like, and also, this is kind of a bad year. No, like,
yeah, it's okay. It's
I've done a minimal look into this. I know as someone who doesn't have a first round pick in my rookie draft,
yeah,
because
you're just not as involved.
I dealt it.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, if I can maybe possibly try and find a way to trade for the pick that is Chris Bell because he's going to be the Dolphins' future number one wide receiver, will I try and do it? Yes.
That's such a tough spot to be in, man. Like, my goodness.
It's noted. And by trading for a pick for Chris Bell, that will be a second round pick.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore. As always, text us 1-833-401-1440. I want to get to this one by Perplexed Oilers fans. He says, what's your guys' thoughts on Wallman for Morgan Riley? Would Babs prefer Riley? I don't know. Just an interesting question. Yeah, no, I would not do it. I would not trade Jake Wallman for Morgan Riley. But I do think Jake Wallman is going to become kind of the poster child here in Edmonton of like, hey, who can we trade this guy for? Like, he is going to kind of become like how do we shed that contract? He's going to be the trade bait piece that keeps getting floated. And like, maybe Jake Wallman comes out and just has an electric year and that conversation becomes moot. But my thing is kind of like him playing second pairing minutes with Connor Murphy. Like, what does his point total look like next year? Like, does he have 45 points next year?
Well, it depends on health, right? I think he can be a 40-point defenseman every year if he stays healthy. Yeah. He's gonna get PP2 time, so very minimal time, obviously.
That PP2 in Edmonton, like, don't even worry about that.
We 10 seconds of power play, maybe.
We don't even have to talk about
sometimes that. 20 if they're lucky. So yeah, like he's gonna get maybe 3 power play points. If Evan Bouchard goes down, then he'll get 50, 60 points maybe. But knock on wood, that doesn't happen, obviously. But to me, Morgan Riley, I know there was so much talk about, why not Morgan Riley for Darnell Nurse?
Little change of scenery for both guys, trade.
I'm sorry. Like, Darnell Nurse, I think, can still really play. I know a lot of people hate him in this market, but for me, Nurse is still a quality NHL defenseman. Morgan Riley, in my opinion, I just see his game just plummeting down a cliff. Like, there are so many warning signs right now. And the last 2 years, especially, you dig into that player, the cliff is we're almost at that full fall off, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. And he's not old, but he's got some tread.
He's got
tires.
old quick.
And he's got old. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, he's fallen off the ledge quick. And he plays a style that ages you quicker.
Yes.
So
I think Jake Wallman is legitimately better at everything.
yeah, I wouldn't do it for sure. To perplexed Oilers fans text, but I do think the other thing is would you echo me on this sentiment that throughout the season, Jake Wallman is going to be the one that keeps getting pointed to?
Yep. The other problem with Jake Wallman is, now you're kind of he's got the no move clause, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you've officially entered the new deal for Jake Wallman, right? And so now you've got the no move, and you're kind of stuck with him. But like for me, and maybe some people would point to, oh, Donovan, how could you say that Jake Wallman is better in every way than Morgan Riley? Morgan Riley, like the offense is like, he's not a good power play quarterback.
The puck just dies on him.
He can still move the puck a bit. He can
Really?
still.
I don't even feel when I watch Morgan Riley play, I don't even feel that. Like, it's so forced and unnatural almost.
That's why I used a bit instead of still fully move the puck. Like, he's not.
Everything he does with the puck looks nervous to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I go that far, but to me, this is I've never liked his ability to defend at all, and it's just gotten worse. That's a player where he scares the hell out of me. Honestly, like that's one of those guys where I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
This one comes in from Cat Dad. He says Wallman is the new nurse. It's probably likely going to trend to be that way.
He's going to be the whipping boy.
Yep. And there's the city kind of always has to have one, and it seems like it is kind of his time.
Him and Trent Frederick are going to be the whipping boys.
Yeah. Like, where do you come out on Trent Frederick, man? Because listen, I know coming off an injury, I know, dude, you had 7 points.
He was horrific last year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Like, irredeemably bad.
He was appalling, is what he was. And so
he had 7 points in 74 games and was a -15.
Yeah, like, he was horrible.
Put 4 games in the playoffs.
What do you do with Trent Frederick?
He showed flashes of being a decent hockey player.
He's had.
But it's like, mate, when you're on this team for another 7 years, now granted the cap hit isn't going to be anything crazy, we're going to need more than a flash in the pan every 20 games. And here's the other thing. Everyone kind of wants him to fill a role as like a bit of a grinder, go out there, fight some guys, throw the ball. It's not like he played that way in Boston, but like he doesn't. It's almost like he doesn't want to play that way.
So what I'll say is, in my opinion, the way his game is constituted, the way he plays his best, Chris Knobloch's style of play didn't really fit that way.
Not at all. It didn't suit him the slightest.
When you look back,
a horrible player for Knobloch.
When you look back to when Trent Frederick was at his best in Boston, this is a very north-south player. This is a player who is going to get in on the forecheck. This is a player who is going to be, you didn't see the hits last year. You didn't see a lot. Like, you didn't see corner battles. Like, there was he lost a lot of battles. To me, when the Oilers played the way that they did, they weren't a very north-south team. And Mike Babcock is a north-south coach in respect to the bottom six. And there's heavy forechecking. There is like a lot of things, crash and bang style. Like, if you look back to his Toronto fourth lines, he loves a guy like Matt Martin. He loves those style of players. Like, Trent Frederick, in theory, is the perfect Mike Babcock fourth line player. Will he find his confidence again and be the perfect Mike Babcock fourth liner? I don't know. I think he can. Like, this is all going to be about confidence. And can he find it after 2 horrible seasons in a row? Because he has the potential to be even a 15-goal scorer. He's done it twice. He's done it 18 and 17. He's had really good 5-on-5 production seasons as like a 40-point level player. 39 points. Like, The guy's a good player, and he can be a good player.
Yeah.
But he needs to find it. And the Oilers, I don't think they were north-south enough. Maybe you can call this making excuses. I just don't think the way he plays the game fit Chris Knobloch and the way he coaches. Maybe I'm making too many excuses for him, but I think Mike Babcock is a better suited coach for this type of player.
Yeah, like in his last 132 games, not including the playoffs, but in his last 132 games of regular season hockey, and we actually can throw some playoff numbers in there because they're not great as well, but I'll stick to the regular season. Last 132 games, he's got 22 points, 12 goals, and is a dash 31.
It's ugly.
And that's a 132. That's a season and a half. Like that's a pretty decent little sample size there. So I'm not saying it's over, but like the constant carrying of water, I just think we got to start to look at this thing like, hey, maybe this isn't all that great.
Am I expecting much? No. I'm going in with actually no expectations for what his season's going to look like. But
see, I want to feel that way, but I can't when you have an 8-year contract. See, I have to have expectations, unfortunately.
I'm beyond, like, I actually don't know what to expect next year. And that's just because, like, it could be this again, or it could be like, I don't know what to expect. Like, Babs is going to demand more from this player in what he expects out of a fourth liner, or he's going to be in the press box. That's the simple fact of next season for Trent Frederick.
Yeah.
So, like, when I say I have no expectations, like, this could be a 5-goal season. This could be a 10-goal season. I don't know what's going to happen.
Here's the thing. What would have been best case scenario when he signed that contract? What would the expectations have been then, would you say? Like, quickly.
The expectations were 15 goals and 30 points at minimum.
Right. And so, obviously, coming off the season he had over the last 132 games, like I talked about now, like, if he can bump this, like, his last season, like, if he can come in with 10 goals and 12 assists and have a 22-point season and plays a little physically, like, are we happy with that? We're certainly happier than what he did last season. But are we happier with that? Like, I would still say no, that's not good enough, even though it would be a monumental jump from what he just did last season.
In my opinion, if a guy is really struggling as bad as he has so far in an Oilers jersey, you just want to see steps. That's how I look at it. So as much as people might be disappointed if he has, 10 goals and 22 points, like you just said, that to me is still fine. Especially, so his role next year, he's going to probably be on the fourth line, knowing Mike Babcock. Like, this is a Mike Babcock fourth line, in theory, type of player.
Mm-hmm.
He usually likes this style of player. He usually likes and gravitates towards those guys. So, like, would I be surprised if that happens? Not really. Like, it's in there somewhere, but can he access it again? Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, I got a fun little thought exercise I want to pose to you guys regarding Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Obviously, do want to talk about who's going to wear the Oilers. We had some texting about that earlier, and if time's permitting, we're going to talk a little LeBron James as well, where he's going to end up. So we'll take a break, our final break before the end of the show. You are listening to Fantasy Frenzy, powered by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop,
And neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel, and there's only one MVP.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
This July will be epic. BetMGM Casino is coming to Alberta on July 13th with over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Game of Thrones. Sign up early and download the app to get started. Then get ready to spin July 13th. It's gonna be legendary. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus only. Please play responsibly. Alberta only. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. They may be teeny tiny, but chinch bugs can completely devastate your lawn or garden. If you have yellowing grass that doesn't improve with watering, you may already have them. At Green Drop, we'll identify them, treat them, and help you recover from the damage before it's out of control. Stop chinch bugs cold with Green Drop Lawn Care, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Find out more and get started at greendrop.com.
The pedigree of a championship team is solid planning. Set yours with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Edmonton's only sports radio station, Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$14.40. Kruger, Fenwick, and Paulson sitting in for this one. One final segment. Get involved. 1-833-401-1440. Comment on YouTube as well. We live stream every episode there. So Oilers alternate captain, Darnell Nurse out the door. I think that probably comes down to three names for this one. I don't think that's breaking any news. I think most people think it's actually maybe an obvious guy. But I'll tell you what I would do. And I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts on this, obviously. I would actually give it to Evan Bouchard. Not because I think he is some unbelievable intrinsic leader, but I have always liked the idea of your best players wearing your letters. Because this is the thing, like Connor McDavid, I think it's and Josh is shaking his head over there. I'm not loving the look he's giving me, but that's fine. He'll get a go in a second here. I think we all kind of agree, like Connor McDavid, obviously no one can hold his jock in terms of being a player. not just on this team, but league wide. I mean, obviously Leon would be close, a phenomenal player as well. But I think a lot of people have always had an issue with what Connor McDavid does as a leader. Never stopped him from wearing the C. I think Leon, a bit more maybe of that, maybe fits that leadership role a little bit better. He wears the A. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, clearly a couple tiers below them in terms of category of player, but he's the longest tenured Oiler, absolutely deserves to wear the A. My thing is, though, I love the idea of the best players wearing it. And so that's why I would look to Evan Bouchard. Here's the other thing. I like Evan Bouchard is part of this core group. He's not going to go anywhere. Like, he is far, far, far less expendable than Darnell Nurse. He has become one of the most important pieces of the most important unit, and a historically good unit at that, on this power play. And so I just love the idea of giving him that A over a guy like, Zach Hyman or a guy like Matthias Ekholm.
I'm sorry, and no, this is not meant to be disrespectful to Evan Bouchard, but when I think leader, that is about the 20th word that comes to mind.
Right, but my thing wasn't as much about it, because here's the, like, McDavid is a leader, Nuge is a leader, Dry is a leader. Those guys already wear the letters. If we're going to hand a third one out, I don't hate the idea of one of my best players being the one to wear that letter.
So what I'll say in respect to McDavid, in respect to Nuge, and their whole leadership group is, are those the most vocal of guys?
No, but I'll say this. Leon's got a little lead by example, do as I do kind of quality.
Leon, to me, is the best leader of the three.
I would agree, yep.
So, to me,
But I don't think Darnell Nurse was a great leader, and he was wearing it.
Darnell wasn't great in my opinion.
Walls, but
Darnell wasn't great in my opinion either. But to me, this is the easiest, whether that's Zach Hyman or Matthias Ekholm of I've ever seen. It's one of the two. Evan Bouchard's not a letters type of player. To me.
I'm in, Donnie. I'm out on you, Deck.
Yeah.
But to me, I think this is pretty clear cut. And I think, I haven't looked at the text line, but I imagine this is who they're championing. It's Zach Hyman. I've never seen a guy more deserving to honestly have a C on his chest.
It's a great show. Zach Hyman's a great show.
An A is the way it is. Like, 2 years ago now, right? In the finals, he gets injured. He's FaceTiming the guys. Or they FaceTime him. He's so excited, his broken wrist, all that stuff. The year before that, everyone's balling in the locker room. He's balling in the locker room. He's like, guys, we're gonna be back. Like don't even stress it. You guys are great. He's stand up to the media, all these things. Like, outside looking in, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the leader right there. That is the emotional guy in the locker room. The emotional leader.
How do you guys feel about Ek?
I have no problem with Ekholm either.
I agree. I think most people would think Zach Hyman. I think Zach Hyman will probably get it. I think, from a perspective of what he means to those guys and what he does in that locker room, it'll make a lot of sense.
Also, he's a great player.
Also,
yeah, for sure.
Smart text from Colin. Babcock loves Hyman. It will be Hyman. That's
a good point.
That's a really smart shout, Colin.
Can
MTR.
I bet this on Kelshi?
This is also something that
probably
some people might be thinking along with MTR here. With all due respect, how do any of us know who leads and who doesn't? We aren't in the room. So in respect to that, MTR, from my point of view, I think in my opinion, it's about judging character, and we can also ask how a guy's leadership styles are, right? And that question's been asked to McDavid, right? And you can listen to him. You can, this is a pretty reserved guy, right? Like, I don't know. I look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and that's a super reserved guy. Like, yeah, we don't get to see the full leadership extravaganza between those two players, but I don't know. For me, it's about judging character and judging. Like, we've heard about Zach Hyman's leadership speeches. We've heard about all these things. I don't know. Do you hear about that from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins?
You sure don't.
You hear about it, I guess, a bit from McDavid, but he's
you
the
have to.
definition.
Like, you have to.
Of course.
You can't. It'd be crazy if we did. We should hear more of it. It'd be pretty crazy if we didn't.
So I don't know. Like, I think Leon. When I look at character of a person, I think Leon is a leader. That's just how I've always viewed him. I'm a big I look at character. I try and not read in too deeply into what guys say in a media scrum, but you can. I don't know. I'd like to consider myself a fairly decent judge of character.
How you feel about Josh? That's all we need. No, I'm just kidding. This one
I called him Bagel Boy this morning.
This one came in from Kenneth. He said, the last thing Bouchard needs is less accountability for himself and more telling others what to do and lead them. The best players wearing them is great. When the best players are the ones that don't do the little things to win, it's a terrible idea. He also goes on to say, when Hyman's dad buys an NHL team, he can be assistant captain. So if I'm reading between the tea leaves here, studious guy, seems like we don't want Bouchard and we don't want Hyman. So I'm curious Kenneth, what your pick would be for that final A spot. I think another thing that came in on the text line was people talking about wanting to have someone on the defense wearing the A. And if that's the situation, you would probably want it to be, I assume most people would want it to be Ekholm. I'm not getting a lot of love.
Jake Wallman.
You know what? I actually think Jake Wallman has some legitimate leadership qualities and characteristics to him. It wouldn't happen, obviously.
Well, he's got a full no move at $7 million a year.
But he's got a little bit of like he'll rile the boys up and put them like he'll go shoulder to shoulder with them and stand.
And then
tall.
he'll also gritty on the ice.
I don't think it's going to happen for Wallman, obviously, but he's got a little bit of those intangibles.
I don't know if I agree at all, Dak. I'll be
really
honest.
Explain.
So that's a goofball to me. That's a guy who.
Yeah, but there's a difference between just being a goofy guy and a guy who can like lock down in the moment. And
also
say,
in
Detroit, with my brothers.
In Detroit, one of the reasons, or the main reason, he was I guess part of it would be Stevie Y didn't really realize what he had in the player, but also he didn't necessarily get along in the room. Is what kind of came out about the player. So
he did not fit that team's culture.
He didn't. But
TikTok star Jake Wallman didn't fit in with the Stevie Y Detroit Red Wings.
Shocking, I know.
He's not the prototypical leader. The two most obvious choices are Ekholm and Hyman. Those are two guys who aren't afraid to voice their opinions.
I want to throw this one to you guys because I've been sitting on this all show. I want to throw it to you guys before we get to the end of the show. In today's free agency market, with what the cap is, how much would Nuge go for in his prime if he was a UFA? Because this is the other thing. I think people will be so quick to point to that 22-23 season and say that was his prime because he obviously was a 100-point player. But that season was an anomaly. Like Nuge, as much as we like him or whatever, he's not a 100-point player. That season was an anomaly of anomalies for him. Like, I think his prime was probably around that 18, 19, 19, 20 range. That 19, 20 season, he was close to a point-a-game player in 65 games. If someone wants to say, because I'm not saying what would he get after that 22-23 season when he had 104 points. Obviously, that was his best season. Duh, he had 104 points. His second career high is 69. I'm not, we can all run the numbers. But I think we would all kind of agree that was an anomaly. And I think we would all kind of agree age-wise and everything else, he was coming into his prime a little bit earlier than that. So I'm curious, what do you guys think he would have gotten as a UFA in today's free agency and with today's class if he was in his prime?
It's a good question, Dak.
Is he making 9 sheets
nowadays? No.
Like 7.
I think
I was thinking 8.
I think everybody kind of has always realized that he is more of a support player.
Yep.
Right. Support players don't really make $9 million. Like support players can have great seasons,
but also in this class. With the rising cap, I think he'd be like a $7 million guy.
He'd be an easy $7 million guy. I think I'd say 8.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 as well. I was thinking he'd get like a 7 by 8.
Yep, I think that's a good shout, Dak.
But even like when you look at his prime, that 18, 19, 19, 20 season, 69 points the year before, nice, and then 61 the next year. But before that, 48, 43. After that, 35. Like, there's not a lot like. Even those 2 years, you could be like, well, those are sort of...
That 48-point season, that was the year he played 55 games, right?
52. No, wait. Which, 48?
Yeah.
62 games.
Okay, 48 and 62.
And also, like, he's not the most durable guy in the world.
Played 1,000 games. Like, that's pretty tough.
Yeah,
he's missed some time. I hear you.
But right in it, what we're calling his prime window, he played 82 games once. Never went past 65.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Became more of a journeyman a little bit later, I guess. Or Iron Man, I should say. Yeah, no, it's an interesting thought. Because I was just thinking, like, I was looking at this class and I was looking at some of the contracts that got handed out, and it got me thinking about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And like, I guess let's turn the question I didn't want to ask. How much would he have gotten after that 104-point season? Because I think everyone and their mom knew that was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
he was
$7 million.
Same thing, eh?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. I can roll with that.
Especially like if it's not from the Oilers, then like you're just like, yeah, we were going to take him away from the best power play in the history of the NHL, but we'll get relatively similar production. No, come on.
So Joe Daddy comes in with, hey guys, very comparable to Nico.
I was just going to read that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's not remotely close.
I
comparison to Nico.
I think that's a horrible comparison.
No.
Because if you're looking at Nico's hockey DB page, the numbers are going to look pretty similar. But no, I can't roll with that comparison.
Nico Hischier is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has never really been a real play driver. If you look at the 5-on-5 numbers, they've never been great in his career. Nico Hischier doesn't rely on others really nearly as much as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins does. He just doesn't have the same level of teammates or the same level of power play. So you've never had these dynamic 100-point or, like he's consistent, like high 60-point player if he gets hurt.
Yep.
And he's a 75-point player on normal circumstances. And he's a great defensive center. I love Hischier, but
he can play on my team.
I love him.
All right. What does Connor and Halley say? We're going to take our 23-hour break, except this one is going to be 23 plus 48. So it's 71, a little 71-hour break till we're back next Monday. Thank you for tuning in for the past week. We've had so much fun with you guys. We'll get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Cattail Crossing. Go night golf every second Friday with your next chance on little later in July, 30 minutes after sunset, $65 per person, including 9 holes walking, 1 glow ball rentals, and a $5 voucher to Out of Bounds. Book at cattailcrossing.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Off the ice, Jamie Benn returning to the Dallas Stars and a 1-year $850K deal. The NBA, Kyle Lowry retiring as a Toronto Raptor after signing a 1-day contract. On the diamond, the Jays, they are in Seattle. First pitch going at just after 8 o'clock. Dylan Cease going for the Bluebirds. Luis Castillo going for the Mariners. The Cubbies hosting the Cards. The Yankees battle the Twins. The Rays clash with Houston. The Orioles tussle with the Reds. The Red Sox, they're in a pillow fight with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Riverhawks, they are in Wenatchee. World Cup round of 32. Australia battles Egypt at noon. Argentina takes on Cabo Verde. And Colombia meets up with Ghana. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.